somebody comes about their Beachbody business is going to say a lot with what they do with their interests, right? So I think that person that enjoys the rowboat really slow, may build a quiet, strong business, as opposed to the person that's going to attract people that like to have fun. They're going to have the parties. They're going to do the Shakeology, together. So they're going to be the first person at Super Saturday that are in the front row, ready to, dance when they turn the music on. So learning those interests with people is also going to help them build a business.
Exactly. And goals. Like right now, I wish you could see my perspective. There is the biggest canyon right here, and I'm wearing heels that I don't normally wear. We were all in flats in the back, and so my goal is not to fall through the crack here and die. Good thing I'm married to a lawyer. Who's ineffective? Why? Beachbody? Anyways, but the goals that will be revealed are, I would like to make more money, or I need to lose weight by my wedding. My sister-in-law, right? My future sister-in-law, almost. So she's her thing is, I need bride arms. I don't know what that is, but bride arms, I'm imagining, they're like your arms or something. Bride arms, So I was like, all right, we'll get you bride arms. We'll find that program to get you bride arms. So.
And then, of course, the thing that this one is an easy one. People have needs, and I think more than anything else, if you're just talking with someone in conversation, it will always spin around to some sort of financial need, right? Or some health need, some health goal need. And what is Beachbody good at doing? Helping people financially and physically.
Or a moment of silence, right? So relationship results. These conversations, the whole idea is to get you talking, to get you into relationship, to start to connect with people. Because what's going to happen is it's going to reveal needs that you can solve, right? And if you're on your phone, or you're totally checked out, or you're feeding your cat, or you're petting Nitro. Clearly you're going to miss the needs. The whole idea, you would say what? They're crying, and they just got through this big heartfelt thing, and you miss the whole point of how you can help solve their needs. So the whole idea of getting into the discussion and making it all about them. Remember, you want to get them talking, ask a lot of questions so you can do that, is so that you can they'll reveal needs that you can't solve. And you're amazing problem solvers. You'd be surprised.
And to assess the accuracy of their claims, I really appreciate you being here today. I know next door, I'm not sure if it's to the right or the left, probably the left, that we've got Mike Bryan over there and Tommy Meiger talking about objections. And I know that is a huge thing in our business, but I want to let you know that if you really take the time to get somebody and you reveal the accuracy of their claims, those objections are going to be very easy for you to counteract. If you really understand what they're going through in their life, you probably won't even get an objection.
And revealing the impact of their change, right? As the conversation develops, you start to draw a black and white outline. And I always think of it like a coloring page. And then you keep asking those questions, digging deeper. What if you had more money? Oh, you want to travel? Where'd you go? And then they start coloring in the lines and filling in a life of travel. And you make this big dream for them, which once might have just started with the word travel.
Get an idea of their current lifestyle. How a stay-at-home mom builds this business is going to be completely different than how someone who works 60 hours a week builds their business. And you cannot have just a blueprint out there. So you have to really understand how their lifestyle, how they live their lifestyle. Are they going to have to work their business early in the morning? Are they going to have to work their business late at night? Are they going to have to work their business in the middle of the day? And by you understanding that and building that relationship with them, you can cater that to their specific needs.
And another thing with uncovering their obstacles is sometimes I know when I hear oh, maybe age might be an obstacle. I remember hearing that the other day. And I got to use a story, and I said, it was the whole, I don't know about that. All I know is so-and-so was over 50 and rocked their power 90. And, the person was like, really? It wasn't about me? They were, because they're going to look at me and say, oh, you're 29 and you can't do it. So, yeah, I know. So, you know what I'm saying? So I was able to use somebody else's story and match it because I was listening. Oh, I totally went the wrong way.
Monday.
I'm I'm ready to go to the party. I'm going to be the third one at the party tonight.
Go on.
All right. Third. No, okay. I'm telling myself to be the second. Okay, where do we do this as coaches? Where do we connect with people? This is our genius. We connect face to face. Aren't they so cute? We
Love the
connect on the
bananas.
phone. Not bananas, but really. And we connect online or through social media. And these are, I went to a seminar and I paid a lot of money for these 3 tools, so I'm going to give it to you for free. Because you talked about giving free information yesterday. So here's the thing. When you're committed, once you decide what life you want to promote and what you're committed to with your work hours or how you're going to connect with people, you are committed, right? So then you can start to communicate those things to people. Think of it like that. Like, I'm very committed in my big picture of life to having very one-on-one time with my children during homework hours. Homework is like on summer break, FYI. Dave and I are having so much fun. We have not had 6th grade math for like 3 weeks. We don't even know what to do with ourselves. But we're committed to 6th grade, now 7th grade math. We've been promoted. And when the time comes, we'll be doing math, and between the hours of 3 and 6, and for those of my coaches, know, that's like, you're not going to get any response from me during that time. That doesn't mean that I'm not coming from my heart, and I don't care. It just means that I'm not available. So even when I'm building new relationships with people, I use my commitments and I communicate them effectively. And what that does is that builds trust. Right? I am keeping in integrity with what I decided is important in my life. And another thing is, I would just caution that you commit to being non-judgmental. You guys are the 6% of the coaches who came to Summit. You're kind of a big deal.
Woo!
Yeah, so commit to being non-judgmental, right? We have the power to influence people and to build deep relationships, and we know that we're going to be with Listen, and we know how to ask questions, and we know how to get these relationships started. So suspend judgment, because not everybody is going to be where you're at. So if like John C. Maxwell said today, if you want to create fans, go ahead, create fans. Click, like. I'm great, look at me. Or, why don't you create some friends? Build those relationships with people, because like that iceberg, you're going to have to start from a surfacey place, but you're going to dig deeper and you're going to get down, and you can see an iceberg has a whole lot you can't see, right? We want to get into connecting with people with what is down, and then look, people will just fall in your arms like that.
So creating engagement, one of the most important things you're going to do is ask questions. And I always kind of play a game with myself when I'm getting to know somebody. I will try to get 5 questions out before I will answer any of their questions. People get uncomfortable with that because they're revealing themselves, right? So you'll ask them a question, they'll say, well, what about you? Spin it back on them and try to get 5 questions out on someone that you're really trying to get to know before you answer any question for them. You are always working hard not to be in broadcast mode. Okay, you don't want to always be telling people what you're doing or telling people about yourself. Be a listener. Be with listening. The next one is to engage with emotions. Everything about this business is emotions. It's not about sales, right? This is an emotional decision to become a coach, and it's an emotional decision to commit to something that's going to change their life as far as health and fitness goes. Create a sense of meaning and purpose. With Beachbody, what is it that we're always trying to get out of people? Their what? Their why, yes. It's really, really important that you dig in and you find their why. And the last one is to consider the personality type. So, are they fun motivated? Are these people that you're talking to wanting to become a part of your family because they look forward to things like this, Summit, and they want to be connected with people? Are they money motivated? You're going to have to show them, how the genealogy of Beachbody to get them money motivated, or is it that they have a personal goal that they want to reach? So get to know somebody's personality type.
So again, we're committed to building trust, right? And Like she said earlier, I know our goals are about Success Club points, but we're here to respect people's timeline. Very simply, if someone tells you that they are not getting paid for 2 weeks, do not tell them how they can juggle their finances and put it on their credit. You know what I mean? Like, respect their timeline. They have been open and honest with you and said, hey, I'm getting paid in 2 weeks. That's when I'll make my move. That's when you have the green light to follow up. That's fair. Because you're taking care of their needs, not your needs. And if you are committed to building consistent relationships with new people, you should have plenty of people to talk to in addition to this person who you will talk to 2 weeks from now. Another thing is people won't open up until they trust you. So, I heard Trina Gray in the previous seminar talk about having a free coaching group, and Melissa had mentioned that before, and the thing is, go ahead and feel free to give them free information. You do not need to motivate, if I tell you this, you gotta sign up to be my coach. You're there to say, I'm in this for you. It's not about, and most times, some people might disappoint you, and those are not the people you want to have. Most people will be loyal because they trust you. You're looking to build deep, connected relationships with people for long term who will stay with you, who will stay committed to drinking their Shakeology. That retention. It's sad when people leave us, right? So, and then also that peer thing, we're in this together. That's always a great move. We are in this together. It's like, just because I might be 6.5 pounds from my goal weight does not mean that is my commitment, by the way, 6.5 pounds from my goal weight. You said it, you heard it here, she's ripped, I'm not. That's okay. 6.5 pounds. So, we're in this together, and that means that in order to maintain those 6.5 pounds from my goal weight, I have to commit to my fitness and nutrition at that percentage every single day. And so I deliver on what I promise, and that builds trust. Here's a couple of favorite questions. And this is just all about, those 5 questions. Get those 5. I love that. I want to be like, I gotta write that down. Tell me about your typical day, week. It's gonna reveal the lifestyle. It's gonna reveal potential obstacles, right? If somebody works 60 hours a week, you're going to have to work with those obstacles, but my husband made it work. So what are their goals, and how would accomplishing those goals impact their life? We were talking about, I was listening to one of the elite coaches speak at our pre-summit meeting, and he talked about the what ifs, but from a real positive perspective. Instead of getting into the worried what ifs, it's what if you just went what if I sold just one challenge pack in my entire coaching career? You guys are not going to do that. Anyway. However, what if that one person who I sold the challenge pack to lost 100 pounds and then lived super long and got to go to their grandson's graduation from Harvard, whatever. So there could be crazy what ifs. And that's what we want to do, is reveal the impact of their life change. How would they feel? Would they have more confidence, right? It's also important to look at what's most important to you. That would have been a good question for me 1 year ago at Summit. Because I would have told you that living a healthy life was important, but I was 26.5 pounds from my goal weight. So it wasn't in alignment, right? And sometimes just revealing that to me, I'd have been like, I'm sure it was revealed to me. And what would the ideal situation look like? Again. And that will also assess the accuracy of their claims. Because if they have never been 115 pounds in their whole entire life, we want to make sure that we want to get you to a healthy weight and something that's achievable. Oh, and what concerns you most? That'll take time from my family. Whatever it is, you want to pull these things up.
Those questions make people nervous too, right? You notice that if you ask someone that question, they're going to give you a real superficial answer at first. Keep digging. Keep digging. Ask those 5 questions, because you will get the real answer. Most likely that first response is not going to be the true one. So creating a positive emotional experience. First is caring. You have to appreciate their reality. I have run across people all the time that I think they would make fantastic coaches, and I want them on my team so bad I can't stand it. But I have to appreciate the reality, because something might be going on in their life at that moment that Beachbody coaching just isn't for them. Maybe it will be in 6 months. Family member could have cancer. They could be, dealing with a sick dog, something of that nature. But you have to respect people's reality that they're just too busy at the time. They've got other concerns they need to deal with, and appreciate that. Praise people for their positive decisions and accomplishments. How many of you have great upline coaches that praise you for your accomplishments? Yes. Make sure that you let that funnel keep going down, because that is huge in relationship building, is that people know that they're appreciated. And then, of course, service. Help them and act in kindness. I'll tell you a little story of a lady that I had call me. It was probably about 2 months ago now. She wanted to return her, I won't say the program, it's probably not nice, a challenge pack, because she didn't dig it. She didn't really want it. And the superficial side of me wanted those two Success Club points because I needed them. It was towards the end of the month. You've all been there, right? And you're like, oh, I need these 2 Success Club points. Do I tell her just to hang on to it? Maybe you can try it again in 6 months. You might enjoy it. Or, maybe you could sell it. But instead, it was within those 30 days, and the best thing for her was for her to return it. And I did lose those Success Club points, and that's okay, because it was the best thing for her. And if I always take care of other people, I know I'll be taken care of as well.
Help them grow, develop, and achieve. I put this picture in here. Dave will know it well, because we made this commitment, right? We're committed to education. I was formerly an educator, and so when your little brother gets into Harvard, you go visit him, because then you have somebody who's actually been, I want to go like, we have a family member at Harvard, somebody smart. I don't know about how skip generation works there. But, people are loyal to leaders who help them get what they want. And if I say I'm going to be on a 3-way call with you, and then I don't show up for the 3-way call, well, I'm not really positioning you to win. It's one thing, I'm not responsible, let's say, for perhaps what my coach fails to do. I'm only responsible for what I promise to deliver, so that I can enhance their coaching or their customer support. Whatever it is, whatever I promise, I want to make sure I deliver, so I position them to win. We're here to train people and observe, provide feedback, follow up. That's what we do as coaches and as developing leaders. And we have all the tools available to us in our coach online office, so there's no reason why a coach should or shouldn't fail. We're also here to remove roadblocks and position them to win. So, quick little story with my son and the crazy hat. We decided to go on spring break to go see little brother at Harvard. And how many times am I going to throw that into 3 sentences? Little brother at Harvard, getting a PhD. And so I went to one of those Party City places and bought the most obnoxious hat in the world, because my son could get his feelings hurt. He's very sensitive, but I also can enroll him. He's a little bit of a sucker, so I could be like, hey, I'm going to play a game. You want to play a game? He said, yes. And I go, okay, I got you this crazy hat. Happy birthday. Now, we're going to go out and see the city. Every day, every interaction you have, and you cannot solicit from people, they have to give it to you unsolicited. They either have to wish you happy birthday or tell you have the coolest hat, or whatever. They have to comment on your hat, and I'll give you a quarter. So it made the whole entire day amazing. And I really positioned him, my poor guy, who had to come, on spring break to Boston instead of being at home, the birthday party and the cake and everything. We could do that later. So he was really good sport about it, and I feel like we positioned people to win in life. That's my share.
I've heard that story 3 times now, and I'm kind of curious, how much did he make?
Yeah, $8 or $9.
Nice.
It's super fun. We did it, and then it totally carried on. We did it another time, where he has a shirt called Thinker, and we were going on a 6-mile hike, and we're like, we were 3 miles in, going, oops, that might not have been so smart, but everybody was like, Thinker, Thinker. And so we said, you know what? You can have a quarter every time some suicide is walking by. I said, you cannot solicit it. You can't be like, look at my shirt, I get a quarter. So he was like, it's cute. And he was the most enthusiastic hyper. Hi, is that grad timing or what? This is summing up.
Yes.
The sum up.
So always strive to add value to people's life, like we talked about before. When you leave here today, the person you're talking to, think to yourself, how can I strive to add value to their life? And practice the golden rule. What is the golden rule? Do unto others as you would have done to you. Praise often and stay positive. Don't get angry on Facebook. If you have someone you struggle with, try those success partners. And remember, we are one huge family and you can connect cross-links. It doesn't have to be, if you have 2 coaches and you don't get along with one of those 2 coaches, you're like, uh-oh, call Monica, she'll hook you up. And then don't post about bad days, post about struggles and how you overcame them.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, hold up, wait a minute. So, I just want to remind you that the Summit Celebration is tonight at 8 p.m. I will be the 3rd person there in the arena. Second, you're right. Way to hold me accountable, sharks in my tank. So, see you there. Get glammed up, dress as purdy or as